Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world that is moving fast, too fast. We rush through life, stepping over people, ignoring the hurting, and turning a blind eye to those in need. We see rudeness, selfishness, and cruelty increasing every day. People are quick to tear each other down, quick to judge, quick to speak, but slow to listen, slow to understand, and slow to love. In the fast-paced world we live in today, reactions have become almost instant. Someone says something we don't like, and we fire back with words that wound. A stranger cuts us off in traffic, and anger flares up before we even think. A disagreement arises, and we lash out before considering the consequences. But what if in those critical moments we simply stopped? What if we took a breath, paused, and chose a different path? Pausing before reacting is not a sign of weakness. It is a mark of wisdom and strength. It is easy to let emotions take control, to say the first thing that comes to mind, to act on impulse. But true character is revealed in the ability to restrain ourselves when emotions are high. Words, once spoken, cannot be taken back. Actions, once done, cannot be undone. A moment of pause can be the difference between destroying a relationship and strengthening it, between escalating a conflict and diffusing it, between regret and peace. When we pause before reacting, we give ourselves the opportunity to think. We allow reason to take the lead instead of emotion. We gain the chance to ask ourselves, is this worth my energy? Is my response going to build or break? Am I reacting out of anger or out of wisdom? Many times in that brief moment of pause, we realize that what we were about to say or do was unnecessary, unhelpful, or even harmful. Pausing also helps us see the bigger picture. Often we are so consumed with our own perspective that we fail to consider what the other person might be going through. The person who snapped at you may be dealing with unbearable stress. The one who ignored you may be struggling with unseen pain. The rude cashier, the impatient coworker, the difficult family member, they might all be carrying burdens we cannot see. A moment of pause allows us to extend grace instead of judgment, patience instead of frustration. Moreover, when we pause, we set an example for those around us. In a world where people are quick to argue, quick to criticize, and quick to condemn, showing restraint is powerful. It teaches others that there is another way, a way of peace, of understanding, of wisdom. It shows that strength is not in how loudly we respond, but in how wisely we choose our words. Pausing before reacting does not mean we suppress our emotions or ignore problems. It means we handle them with wisdom instead of impulse. It means we take the time to respond in a way that leads to resolution instead of regret. It means we choose love over anger, patience over frustration, and kindness over retaliation. So the next time you feel anger rising, the next time someone offends you, the next time you are tempted to respond without thinking, stop, take a breath, give yourself a moment. In that pause, you may just find the power to turn a situation around, to change an outcome, and to be a source of peace in a world desperate for it. Many people mistake kindness for weakness. They see a gentle heart and assume it lacks power. They believe that being kind means being passive, letting others take advantage, or avoiding confrontation. But the truth is, kindness is not weakness, it is strength in its purest form. It takes courage to be kind in a world that often rewards selfishness and aggression. It takes inner strength to respond with love when others choose hostility. Kindness requires self-control. When someone mistreats us, the natural reaction is to retaliate. It is easy to return insult for insult, to lash out when we feel wrong. But true strength lies in the ability to restrain those impulses and choose a higher road. It is not weakness to walk away from unnecessary conflict. It is wisdom. It is not cowardice to show compassion instead of cruelty. It is courage. A truly strong person does not need to prove their power through intimidation or harshness. Their strength is evident in their ability to remain kind even in difficult situations. Being kind does not mean allowing others to walk all over you. It does not mean accepting mistreatment or staying silent in the face of injustice. Kindness can be firm. It can set boundaries. It can stand up for what is right while still treating others with respect. A kind person can say no without being cruel, can correct without belittling, can lead without oppressing. Kindness has the power to change lives. A simple act of kindness, an encouraging word, a helping hand, a moment of patience can make a difference that we may never fully see. People are fighting battles we do not know about. Some are carrying pain that is invisible to the world. A kind word spoken at the right moment can be a lifeline. A compassionate response can heal wounds that anger would only deepen. Strength is not in tearing people down, it is in lifting them up. History has shown that the strongest leaders, the most influential figures, and the most respected individuals were not those who ruled with fear, but those who led with kindness. People do not remember the ones who dominated others through cruelty. They remember those who touched lives with love, understanding, and generosity. True greatness is found not in how much power one holds, but in how much kindness one shares. Kindness is not weakness, it is resilience. It is choosing love over hate, peace over conflict, patience over frustration. It is the ability to remain compassionate in a world that often tests our limits. It is refusing to let the harshness of life harden our hearts. The strongest people are not those who fight the loudest, but those who love the deepest. So when faced with a choice between harshness and kindness, choose kindness, not because it is easy, but because it is powerful. Not because it is expected, but because it is transformative. And in doing so, you will not only show strength, you will inspire it in others. Every person we encounter is carrying a burden we cannot see. Behind every smile, there may be pain. Behind every confident posture, there may be insecurity. Behind every act of impatience or frustration, there may be a hidden struggle. Life is not easy for anyone, and though some may carry their burdens quietly, that does not mean they are not struggling. It is easy to judge others based on their actions in a single moment. When someone is rude, we assume they have a bad attitude. When someone ignores us, we assume they do not care. When someone is distant, we assume they are cold-hearted. But the truth is, we rarely know the full story. The person who cut you off in traffic may be rushing to a hospital. The cashier who seemed unfriendly may be going through personal heartbreak. The coworker who was short-tempered may be dealing with stress that feels unbearable. Life is full of challenges, some visible, some hidden. People are battling illnesses, financial struggles, family issues, personal doubts, and emotional pain. Some are grieving the loss of a loved one, while others are facing rejection, loneliness, or failure. We never truly know what someone is going through. That is why kindness and patience are so important. A gentle word, a simple act of compassion, or even just choosing not to respond in anger can make a significant difference in someone's life. When we recognize that everyone is fighting battles, it changes the way we see the world. Instead of reacting with frustration, we begin to respond with understanding. Instead of assuming the worst about people, we start giving them the benefit of the doubt. Instead of adding to someone's burdens, we become a source of relief. Our words and actions have power. We can either add to the weight people carry or help lighten their load. This does not mean we excuse bad behavior or tolerate disrespect, but it does mean we approach others with empathy. It means we take a moment before reacting in frustration. It means we extend grace even when it is not deserved. The truth is, we all have moments where we struggle. We all have days when we feel overwhelmed. And just as we hope others will be patient with us, we should be patient with them. The world is already full of harshness. People are already carrying enough weight on their shoulders. A little kindness can go a long way. A kind word can be the encouragement someone needs to keep going. A moment of patience can prevent someone from feeling even more defeated. A simple smile can remind someone that they are not invisible. So the next time someone acts in a way that frustrates you, remember, they may be fighting a battle you cannot see. Choose to be the person who offers kindness instead of judgment, grace instead of anger, and understanding instead of assumption. Because in the end, we are all fighting something, and a little kindness can make all the difference. Look around and you will see a world that is hurting. People are divided, tensions are high, and negativity seems to spread faster than ever before. Turn on the news, scroll through social media, or simply walk down a busy street and you will find anger, impatience, and indifference everywhere. People are quick to criticize but slow to encourage, quick to judge but slow to understand, quick to speak but slow to listen. In the midst of all this, one thing is clear. The world is starving for kindness. Kindness is a basic human need, yet it often feels in short supply. Everywhere we go, people are longing to be seen, heard, and valued. A kind word, a compassionate gesture, or a simple smile can mean more than we realize. For someone struggling with loneliness, kindness can remind them they are not forgotten. For someone carrying heavy burdens, it can be a source of strength. For someone on the edge of despair, it can offer hope. Kindness may seem small, but its impact is immeasurable. Despite this deep need, kindness is often overlooked. People are too busy, too distracted, or too focused on themselves to notice those around them. Society has taught us to value power, success, and self-preservation above all else. Yet, in our pursuit of these things, we have lost something essential, the ability to care for one another. When did we become so consumed with our own lives that we stopped seeing the pain in others? When did we start believing that kindness is optional rather than necessary? True kindness is not just about being polite or well-mannered. It is about choosing to be compassionate even when it is inconvenient. It is about extending grace even when it is undeserved. It is about showing love even when the world encourages division. It does not require wealth, status, or influence. Anyone can be kind, and everyone needs kindness. It is not just for friends and family. It is for strangers, for those who have wronged us, and for those who may never be able to repay us. One act of kindness can create a ripple effect far beyond what we can imagine. A smile to a stranger might be the only kindness they receive that day. A word of encouragement can inspire someone to keep going. A small act of generosity can restore someone's faith in humanity. We may never see the full impact of our kindness, but that does not mean it is insignificant. A single act can set off a chain reaction, spreading from person to person, touching lives in ways we will never know. If the world is starving for kindness, let us be the ones to provide it. Let us choose to speak words that heal rather than wound. Let us show compassion where there is pain. Let us be patient where there is frustration. Kindness is not weakness, it is strength. It is not a luxury, it is a necessity. The world is hungry for it, and we each have the power to provide it. If we want to live in a better world, we must start by being better to one another. Let's choose kindness, because the world is starving for it, and we can be the ones to feed it. Every day we are faced with choices. From the moment we wake up to the time we go to sleep, our lives are shaped by the decisions we make, some big, some small, but all significant. The way we treat others, the words we speak, and the actions we take are not just random reactions to life's circumstances, they are choices. And one of the most powerful choices we can make is the choice to be kind, compassionate, and intentional in the way we live. Too often, people go through life on autopilot, reacting to situations without thinking. If someone is rude to us, we respond with rudeness. If life gets difficult, we become bitter. If we face rejection or disappointment, we shut ourselves off from others. But what if we chose a different response? What if, instead of allowing circumstances to dictate our behavior, we made a conscious decision to respond with love, patience, and wisdom? Choosing kindness is not always easy. It requires effort, self-control, and intentionality. It means deciding to be patient when someone tests your limits. It means offering forgiveness when you have every right to hold a grudge. It means taking the time to encourage someone even when you are busy with your own struggles. These moments do not happen by accident. They happen because we make a conscious choice to rise above negativity and be a force for good. Life will always present challenges, but we are never powerless in how we respond to them. Every situation gives us an opportunity to make a choice. Will we choose to be kind or cruel? Will we choose to listen or ignore? Will we choose to bring peace or create division? It is easy to blame circumstances or other people for our reactions, but the truth is we always have control over our own behavior. No one can force us to be bitter. No one can make us react in anger. Those are choices we make, whether we realize it or not. A conscious choice is a powerful thing. It means living with intention rather than simply reacting to life as it comes. It means recognizing that our words and actions have consequences. It means understanding that every interaction we have with another person is an opportunity to encourage, to uplift, to make a difference. We may not always be able to change our circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Imagine a world where more people made the conscious choice to be kind. Imagine a world where patience was chosen over frustration, where understanding was chosen over judgment, where love was chosen over hate. That world is possible, but it starts with each of us making a decision every single day. So as you go through life, remember that you are never without a choice. Choose to be the kind of person who brings light instead of darkness, who spreads hope instead of despair, who chooses kindness even when it is not easy, because in the end, the choices we make define the lives we live and the impact we leave on the world. When all is said and done, what will truly matter about our lives? It will not be the wealth we accumulated, the titles we held, or the possessions we owned. It will not be the size of our bank accounts or the number of people who praised us. What will matter most is the love we gave, the kindness we showed, and the lives we touched along the way. Because at the end of our journey, our legacy will not be built on material things. It will be built on the impact we had on others. The world is not in need of more power-hungry leaders, more self-centered individuals, or more people who seek only their own interests. The world is starving for kindness, for compassion, for those who will lift others up instead of pushing them down. Every person has an opportunity to leave behind a legacy, not just those in positions of power or fame. Our legacy is built in the small, everyday moments of life. It is shaped in the way we treat a stranger, in the words we choose to say to a friend, in the time we take to listen to someone in pain. People may not remember what we wore, what we owned, or how much money we made, but they will always remember how we made them feel. Did we make them feel valued? Did we make them feel seen? Did we make them feel loved? We live in a time when the world desperately needs people who will choose kindness over cruelty, love over indifference, and forgiveness over bitterness. It is easy to be harsh. It is easy to judge. It is easy to criticize. But it takes real strength to be kind when the world is cruel, to love when others hate, to extend grace when it is not deserved. Kindness is not about weakness. It is about choosing to rise above negativity and respond with a heart that seeks to heal rather than hurt.